Welcome into Boxing Scene's top stories. You're on ProBox TV. Download the ProBox TV app. Never fall behind with your boxing news. Of course, big fight coming up this weekend. Tszyu and Bakhram Murtazaliev. It is on, and the weigh-ins already happened. Boxing Scene's own Deck Warrington was there. These were the official weights. Tszyu 153.4, Murtazaliev 152.8. No pushing and shoving. Very, very professional. Both guys looked mentally very focused. To help me break it down, Jimmy Smith in studio alongside Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, and Showtime Sean Porter. Showtime, you're our boots on the ground at the fight itself. What's your thought on the keys to victory for both guys? What do they need to do to win?
You know what I really love about this fight? We always talk about styles making fights, and we most times are looking at contrasting styles and which style is going to be better on fight night than the other. Well, on fight night, we got Tszyu and Murtazaliev that have the exact same style. I think if anything, Tszyu is a little more polished in other areas that Murtazaliev is not. Primarily Tszyu's ability to use his feet and move laterally, whereas Murtazaliev is more straightforward straightforward and backs north and south kind of guy. I think the keys for victory are just that for Tszyu. Get off line, use your jab, and walk Murtazaliev into your shots. The thing I know about Bakhram Murtazaliev is he believes wholeheartedly in his power. They think that they're going to knock out Tszyu, and they don't believe that he can stand up to the power. So what we see with a lot of Russian fighters, I'm not going to say all, but what we see with a lot of Russian fighters, they like to plot towards you, and they like to impose their will on you and be very physical and heavy-handed with both hands. Most of them are. So I would look at Murtazaliev trying to knock Tszyu out for 12 straight rounds. I think this is going to go the distance, and I think Tszyu's feet and his speed is what's going to get him past Murtazaliev tomorrow night.
Chris, I'm very curious about that. You faced a lot of power punchers, and you were a guy who often had to outbox guys for 12 rounds. Is that the key, as Showtime said, for Tszyu, outboxing him for 12 rounds?
I don't necessarily think so. Both guys are very aggressive. Murtazaliev, as you said, champ, he really believes in his power. He comes forward. It's especially in that right hand. He's looking to hurt you. He's looking to knock you out. He fights an entire fight like that. He's got a very good gas tank. He's very, very aggressive. He comes forward, and he's trying to hit you with that big right hand. Tszyu likes to fight at that mid-distance range. He likes to close his distance, get into good positioning. He's got great balance, has a nice pull from the inside, counters well with the right hand, has a very good, sharp, quick jab. I don't think it's so much about him outboxing. I think it's him using his better fundamentals on the inside. Murtazaliev can punch a little wide at times, especially when he gets a little right hand happy. And I think there's going to be opportunities for Tim to shoot in between those wide shots because he has better fundamentals and tighter punches. And I think that's going to be the key to victory for Tszyu. Close the distance without taking too much damage, but once you're on the inside, shoot those shots in between the wide punches of Murtazaliev. And for Murtazaliev, I mean, what you see is what you get. He's trying to knock the head off with the right hand. So I think this is actually going to be a really, really good fight. I don't picture either one of these guys doing a whole lot of moving around the ring. There's going to be a fight in the center of the ring. Some guy's going to be on the ropes, another guy's going to be on the ropes, and they're going to bang away. But I think Tszyu's fundamentals are the key to victory for him.
Paul, you've talked glowingly about what you call this Soviet style, guys from Eastern Europe, regardless of where they're from in Eastern Europe, who came up in the old Soviet system. Tszyu, of course, the father of Tszyu, raised in that system. That's what he taught his son. Do you see both these guys of that similar kind of mold, Paulie?
Yeah, more so. Yes, a little bit from a technical perspective, but also from a mental position. There's a lot of mental strength in those Eastern fighters. They're real rigid and determined. I kind of echo the sentiments of both my peers here. I do see Murtazaliev as a guy coming forward and looking to impose his power and his strength and his physicality a little bit. He's a big guy. Tszyu kind of is small stature for 154 pounds, and Murtazaliev is going to be looking to hurt Tszyu the whole time. But I also think Tszyu is a more versatile fighter, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to just stick there to the boxing, because they're both Russians in that way, where where Sean said, Eastern fighters like to try to come forward and impose themselves. Tszyu may be an Australian, but he's kind of, he's Russian for all intents and purposes, and he has that style in him. If you look at the Tony Harrison fight, if you look at the way he was fighting in the Fundora fight, and you look at his other fights, he takes it to you as well. He looks to boss the ring and take it to you in a more technical, versatile way than Murtazaliev does. Murtazaliev looks to boss you as well, naturally, both being Eastern guys. They have this mentality, but he's a bit more wouldn't say one-dimensional, but there's less layers to him. And I think that could be the difference here. Does that mean Tszyu will box at times? Possibly. But I think I see Tszyu more so showing a little bit more versatility and eventually starting to force Murtazaliev back bit by bit as a fight wears on. But Murtazaliev is also not going to lose that winning mentality. He's going to be looking to land the big shot. And of course, if he can get Tszyu going backwards at all in this fight, where he can start to become boss it in spots, then he becomes even more dangerous. But I do think it's a fight where whichever one is backing up more consistently is going to be at a disadvantage. Because both of these guys, while they're not so much all the time front foot guys, at least not in Tszyu's case, they are more effective when they're coming forward.
Well, it's going to be a great fight regardless. When you talk about tactics, aggression, experience, both guys have it. The return of Tszyu Saturday night against Murtazaliev. Once again, we have an interview with Tszyu on our YouTube channel. He sat down and talked with us about his goals, his future, and his relationship with his father. A lot of levels, a lot of questions when it comes to the fight on Saturday as he comes off his first loss of his career, and it was a controversial one. And we'll be there post-fight with all the news here on ProBox TV.
Boxing superstar Tszyu is coming to Prime Video. Don't miss this championship showdown as Tszyu takes on undefeated Murtazaliev for the super welterweight world title. Saturday, October 19th, streaming live exclusively on Prime Video for all Prime members.
Wednesday Night Fights. In partnership with DeBella Entertainment, it's Broadway Boxing Heroes on the Hudson 2. With proceeds benefiting veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. October 23rd. Don't miss Mio Yoshida as she defends her IBF Bantamweight World title in a rematch against Sharetta Metcalf. Live from the theater at Madison Square Garden. Wednesday Night Fights.
For more ProBox TV, scan the QR code on the screen or go to the App Store and Google Play. ProBox TV, your boxing channel.